We are the Liberty Intelligence Organization Network.
This is our news recap show. I'm going to be the host, mainly, of this segment. You can call me the captain. As far as it's been going, I seem to be the only host doing much, but I assure you that there are other members, mainly the co-founder, who's the only other member at this moment, but there are other members to the Liberty Intelligence Organization Network. We are all very aware of the New World Order and its evil, tyrannical desire to globally dominate the world. Again, we don't exactly all agree on every aspect of the New World Order, but we all understand it's real, and we're all willing to look at information and analyze information to find out the truth. Whatever it may be, there are certain truths that can be discovered, like who stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Well, we can find out who stole the cookie from the cookie jar. What's the meaning of life? I'm not, the Liberty Intelligence Organization Network, we're not going to tackle the big, what if, why does life exist, how does this work? Those aren't the types of truths we're talking about. We're talking about real truth. Who stole the cookie from this cookie jar, Who flew the airplane into the building? Who destroyed the Fourth Amendment? We're talking about things that can be truthfully known. But this is a special report. I guess it's special report number 02. If you're interested in the number and how I organize the Liberty Intelligence Organization Network on the channel. And I'm the main uploader. Again, I assure you there are other people, the co-founder, and hopefully he'll make a video soon. I'm actually, I've mentioned before that there are going to be other segments other than the news recap show. Actually, I got a prop together that they'll probably take the video down for copyright issues. I'm not sure. I'm gonna change the prop a little bit so that there's not a copyright issue directly. But it's just gonna be a little prop to try and teach. It's like our educational fun time segment, I guess. I'm gonna try and film one of those soon. But it is a special report, and I'm gonna cover a bunch of stuff here in the special report. But the top news story, top headline here for the special report is: are we headed toward World War III? Question mark. And I ask that because here's what's working out. For the past couple of years, whenever I was watching RT, which is, again, in Russia Today, a Russian news-funded source, whenever I watch them, whenever their military, like a general or a lieutenant general or some officer in the Russian military is ever on there, they're always talking about how they're getting ready for war with the United States. All the time, every time I see a Russian military person on RT, they're always talking about war with the United States. Now that's been going like that for a couple of years now, so that's nothing new. But what is new is what's going on in Syria today. In Syria, there's this rebellion going on. Now the U.S. and the U.N. and NATO are saying if chemical weapons are used in Syria, they're going to have to get involved. And at the same time, Russia said that if the U.S. or UN or NATO gets involved in Syria, you're going to have a problem with Russia. We're going to get involved. Now, truth be told, Russian Spetsnaz, Russian Special Forces, are already engaged on the ground with United States Special Forces. They're already at war with each other. They're already shooting and killing one another. Special Forces, again, these are the spies, these are the special units, like the guys that were sent in to kill bin Laden, supposedly. The SEALs, the spec ops, black ops. They're the guys that are on the ground right now, already engaged in warfare. And it's all covered by this rebellion, this so-called rebellion. So what I think is going to happen, again, this is only my personal thought, I think a chemical weapon is going to be used. I think it's going to be used by the Al-Qaeda New World Order operatives that have been sent into Syria. And then it's going to be blamed on Assad as a way to get the U.S. and NATO involved. U.S. and NATO are going to get involved. Boom, Russia's going to get involved. Hello, World War III. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I am saying that that's what the evidence is pointing towards. Again, one of the headlines is Russia draws line in sands of Syria. And as I mentioned, whenever I see a military Russian guy on RT, he's always talking about how they're getting ready for a war with the United States. Sometimes they even say they're not using nuclear weapons is on the table. They're saying this type of stuff. Let me do a time check. So on a side note, I want to mention now, in addition to all that, Russia's been selling a lot of naval equipment in addition to firearms and armored troop carriers and tanks. and airplanes. They've been selling a lot of their military stuff, and remember, they built up a big military during the Cold War. So they have a lot of stuff, a lot of military hardware. They've been selling it to China. You know, maybe wink, wink, something might be up there. Maybe that's an ally, a secret ally. Wink, wink. I'm not sure. Again, the Russians have made secret deals with a lot of nations in the past. So, and in the front, you know, basically, I remember back during World War II, right before World War II, there was the Soviet non-aggression pact between Germany and the Soviet Union. And all that was basically they gave each other enough time to amass their troops on the border, and then they launched a war against each other. So you always got to remember that. That's the way the Russians like to do it. They like to put all the pieces in place, then drop back on their agreements and start the war. And again, the Germans, it's really a new world order, an evil, tyrannical sort of thing. All tyrants like that, like warmonger tyrants. And there's different types of tyrants. There's warmonger tyrants, there's the sick, control freak tyrants, but they come in all shapes and forms and sizes. But in addition to potential World War III news, those of you who've been following news, basically, you know, even mainstream news, will know that North Korea has developed nuclear weapons, and in more recent times, they just built a missile that has the ability to reach orbit, and really, once you reach orbit, you can hit anywhere on the Earth. But the headline in the article that I'm going to link to says that it can reach California coast. So they can hit California with nuclear weapons now in North Korea. Just another, again, the headline here, the top story on this segment of the special report is World War III. Are we headed towards World War III? Is that a potential, you know, event that could happen in the near future? And I really mean the near future. So basically, that's all I want to talk about in this segment. I'm going to get into another segment about some big bombshell information. Big bombshell, ba-boom, 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 bombshell information. And again, I always like to joke, we're in the info wars, and I'm sending you out information bullets all the time, and it's just knowledge, 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 knowledge. Well, I got a knowledge nuke, an information overload in the next segment here of the special report. So thanks for tuning in. I want to remind everyone to stay safe, to stay strong, to stay free. And of course, as always, stay informed.